My name is Justina Mensah. I work with Impact Investing Ghana. I am the officer for Deal Room and Investment Engagement. I have my able colleagues on board as well who are assisting in this webinar. So Mary is on board. We have Irene on board. We have Julia on board. Good to have you all on board as well. I won't take much of your time. Just to, by way of introduction, um, the 2022 SDG Investments Fair is about to take off, and the Ministry of Finance, in partnership with Impact Investing Ghana, where I work, the Social Enterprises Ghana, and the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, is organizing deal rooms to connect investors to viable businesses that meet their criteria. Now, as I said, viable businesses. So if the business meets the investors' criteria and they are a good match, then they get to be connected for the deal room. This is the first level or the first session of the deal room process. And the goal of this particular meeting is to give businesses a background or some information on investments, what it means to be investment ready. So that's the background, just a quick background. The next session is also the businesses that are shortlisted get the opportunity to have a one-on-one coaching session to prepare them for the deal room. So I would plead with you that for the shortlisted individuals, businesses will receive emails. So please, right after this session, kindly check your emails to see if you have received any email inviting you to another session today. If you have received an email and an invite, please acknowledge it, respond appropriately, and please join in on the session for the one-on-one coaching sessions. Thank you. So I'll just jump in. After the presentation, there will be an opportunity for a Q&A. So welcome to the SDG Investment Fair Investment Readiness session. So as part of what we're going to do, I'm just going to do a quick run through. Please, can you all hear me? Great, thank you, Dr. Ellie. So I'll just do a quick run through on what Impact Investing Ghana is about, who we are, and then I'll also touch on what impact investing is all about, the key considerations when you are engaging an impact investor. Then I'll touch on becoming investment ready. What does it mean to become investment ready? Introduction to deal source, and then benefits of signing onto deal source. Now, I know some of us on board have had the opportunity to go through some of these processes already. So maybe when it comes to the Q&A time, you can even shed some more light on your experiences and to help others that are new to this to also learn. So Impact Investing Ghana, we are the National Advisory Board for Impact Investing in Ghana, and we are a member of the Global Steering Group for Impact Investing. We are actually an independent private sector-led initiative. And what we do is that we bring on board all the key stakeholder groups in Ghana to ensure that we are directing capital towards social and environmental impact. So we bring together people from the worlds of finance, business, government, social organizations, and philanthropy. And the Global Steering Group for Impact Investing actually has 33 countries across board. And we drive investment and increase the visibility. And this helps to provide a global platform. The Global Steering Group helps to provide a global platform to drive investments and increase our visibility globally. As part of our goals, Impact Investing Ghana, also known as IIGH for short, has an ambitious plan to support impact ventures such as you and by catalyzing 1 billion in impact funds for investments in Ghana and the West African sub-region. So what are impact funds? If someone says impact funds, especially since we have started the fundraising journey for businesses, you would hear a lot of this word coming up. An impact fund is a type of investment vehicle that seeks to achieve sustainable and beneficial social or environmental impact in addition to financial return. So when it comes to an impact fund, we are looking at not just the return that the investor will make in terms of the money they are going to get as a result of their investment, but they are also looking at the rippling effects. So you can say the triple bottom line. We are looking at planet, the environment, and people. So how is it having an impact on the planet? So ultimately, it creates a measurable and environmental return. What are the key considerations when you are engaging an impact fund? Now, probably you're a business today, you are here with us, you want funding, you want to engage an impact fund, but you don't know where to start. The first thing to start is, what is the ticket size? Now, various funds have different ticket sizes. So before you start this particular journey, you need to find out that if you are approaching Fund A or Fund B, do a research. List the funds that you know and then indicate what is their ticket size. So if you are a business and your target amount you want to raise is, let's say, a $50,000, then it means that it will not be ideal for you to approach a fund that is willing to give out $100,000 and above. So the ticket size serves as a guide for you to know the right funds to approach. Also, what is the geography? Most funds have a particular geography that they are willing to operate in. So there are funds in Ghana that are focused across Africa. There are those that are focused in just Ghana. There are those that are focused in businesses in East Africa. There are funds in Europe that are also focused in Ghana. So when you know the scope of the fund that you want to approach, it helps you to know if you will be a good meet for them. So it wouldn't be ideal to approach a fund that is focused on only Europe when you need funding and you are in Ghana. It would just be a waste of your time. Now, your traction narrative. So by the traction, we are referring to what are the key things that have happened in your business journey. What are the significant things that makes it outstanding? Is it the impacts that you have made? Is it your turnovers? Is it a growth in production? Is it a release of a new product that is distinctive and outstanding amongst all those on the market? However, in communication your traction, you need to know that every fund and the traction they are looking at. So you need to find out in your research, what are the key things that businesses, funds are looking at. So there are some funds in Ghana that are focused on only businesses that are in the green area. So green fields, for instance, we have the Wangara Green in Ghana. That is their focus. Their focus is renewable energy, green businesses. So if you see such a fund and your business is in line with their goal, then it's a go-to point. It's good for you to go there. But if you're not a green business, it won't be the best for you to reach out to them. Some are also interested in the number of years that you have been operating and then the growth over the period before they invest. So get to know what the traction narrative is. The sector of focus. Now, every fund has sectors that they focus on. Some funds are only focused on agribusiness, manufacturing, and agriculture. Others are interested in health and pharmaceuticals. Others are interested in probably all kind of sectors. So the point is, please find out the sectors of the fund if you are a good match for the fund before you approach them. So this list is not exhaustive. There are other things that funds look out for, but this is a great guide for you. Now, what kind of investment instruments are issued by impact funds? So for those of us who probably might not have ever dealt with a fund or a VC, a venture capital firm, we are used to the regular bank loans. But impact funds operate differently. So one of the key um, instruments that are issued are debts. So debts, as debt investors provide loans to companies. However, their structure is different from the typical banking loan, where maybe the bank says that I'm giving you this funds for just 6 months, for just 1 month. No, their structure is different. And the structure is determined by the fund and by the kind of business that you are doing. So before an impact fund or investor will give you a debt investment, it means that your cash flows are strong. You have a good turnover as a business, and it helps them. They know that within a particular period of time, you should be able to pay back at an agreed interest. The next thing to look out for is the next kind of instrument is equity. So equity, impact funds provide equity in return for partial ownership of your business. So in this case, it is a long-term investment. So when an impact fund comes in and says that I am giving you equity, it means that they are actually buying a share in your company. And this gives them the opportunity to come on board to actually help you to run the show. So in these instances, these impact funds might have a rep on board as a maybe on your board. They might come in to support with the management process. They might even connect you to the relevant networks that you need to grow the business. So when they come in as equity holders, what they look out for is what aside the traction, your business, what are the relevant things that you need to move to the next level? And impact funds, when they come in as equity holders, come in to provide this for you. The next one is a convertible debt. A convertible debt. Okay. This is a kind of investment. Okay. Sorry about that, please. I had a little. This is a kind of, when we say convertible debt, it's a kind of investment that might start off as a loan before it actually might end up as equity. So I said when we say the term equity, it means that the business is coming here to actually position themselves as your partners. So they might start coming initially and say, okay, we are giving you a loan. Now, as they give you the loan, along the line, as it might be structured in such a way that along the line we are giving you a loan of this amount, but after a number of years or after a number of months we might convert it and come in as equity holders. Now this actually, the details is determined by the investor and it's actually agreed on with you. Now I just want to go back and touch on a few things first before I continue. When I say ticket size, I'm referring to the amount that you want to raise. So please just give me a minute to go back. Yes. When I say ticket size, the amount of money that you are looking to raise. So if you are a business and you are looking to raise 100,000 and the investor is looking at giving out funds from 100,000 to $5 million, that is their ticket size. That is the amount they are willing to invest. Also, when I say turnover, I'm referring to the amount that you made within a particular period of time. So usually turnovers are considered or looked at in terms of a yearly basis or a monthly basis. So if after a year as a business you made 100,000 Ghana cedis, that is your turnover. Thank you very much. Now, becoming investment ready. Understanding the journey of investment readiness. So when we say a business is investment ready, it's actually a journey. So it doesn't just start at the point where you get up and you say, oh, I need funds. So the very first time, what happens is that as you are here right now, we have decided that, oh, you have identified that you need some kind of funds to grow your business. Now, The journey starts when you decide or you realize that there is a need for growth and you need funding. This actually will require that you put together some kind of documentation or some kind of documents, which I will go into as we proceed. And then, after you have put together the relevant documents and you have shown it to an investor, sorry about that, there's some noise in my background. Please let me pause for it to. Okay, thank you. After you have put together those documents, you have shown it to a prospective investor, and the prospective investor tells you that, okay, your business is okay, it's in line, and the investor is willing to put some money in your business despite the risk, and they are willing to give you some kind of funds, then your business can be considered as investment ready. So let me just touch on it again. It's a journey. It starts when you identify the need for funds. When you have reached out to an investor, you have put together the relevant documentation, you have reached out to potential investors, and they show interest. They might not even invest at that point, but when they show an interest, then you are investment ready. I want to please touch on this that a lot of times in my communications with businesses, I run into very good businesses who have pitched to one investor or the other, and along the line, businesses get tired and say, I'm not interested. It's a tiring journey. I have been talking to so many investors, sorry, and they have not given me any funds. Please, it is a journey. Some people have described the investment journey like it's a marriage journey. Or just as a joke, you don't marry the first woman or the first man that you meet. And as you go through the process of pitching and reaching out to investors, you get better because their feedback and what they draw your attention to helps you to put your documentation in place. Thank you. Now, an investment readiness checklist. This list that I'm going to go through with you is not exhaustive, but it's at least a good guide on what to look out for when you are preparing for investment readiness. One, you must have your business model in place. I will go into detail later. You must have the details of your team. You must look at your owners and founders' investments, your traction, your growth potential. You must have your records in place. The amounts that you are trying to raise, you must be able to indicate the uses and the types that you need. You must have all your relevant documentation. You must have the relevant licenses and certifications that go with your business. And you must have a good legal structure. Now, for your business model, we want to touch on the fact that is it clear what your business is doing? So a lot of times I have seen businesses pitch or people that have great business ideas, but it is not clear what exactly they are doing. Now, aside from what exactly your business is doing, what solution it is offering, can you indicate how your business is generating revenue? What impact is your business seeking to create? So, especially for those of us that might be reaching out to impact investors, you should know the SDG goal, the Sustainable Development Goal your business is solving. So I said that I tried to start a business at a point. At a point, I spoke to someone who had been in this landscape for a long time. And after talking about my business, I was so excited. And he asked me, so how do you intend to make money? And I was confused. I didn't know how I was going to make money. I was just excited about the business idea. So you should know what your business is going to do, how you are going to make money and profit, and the kind of impact. And all these should be communicated in your business model. Your team. Does the company have a qualified and dedicated team to carry out the activities and drive the business vision? Can your team deliver? Does the team have the skills in finance, sales, and marketing? Are there gaps, and how do you fill it? So the people, so I think Abraham, when he was explaining about what he noticed about entrepreneurship, mentioned that as an entrepreneur, usually at the beginning, you might not have a lot of money to be able to give out to bring the right people on board. So it's about how do you attract them and share your vision so they buy into it. So my question is, who are the key people in your team? What are their backgrounds, their experience, and the number of years of experience? These things are very relevant. So you could have a very good business idea, but if your team is not solid, the chances of getting investments would not be fulfilled. But you might have an idea that might not be extraordinary, that might not be out of the moon. But if you have a good team with a good experience to deliver on the idea, the chances of getting investments is high. So please always look at who your team members are and indicate what they are bringing to the table. The owner's funds. How much have you invested yourself as a business owner? Usually, at the beginning of a business, research has shown that the first sort of funding usually comes from the owner of the business, from family and friends, and as the research puts it, from fools. And usually, fools, the term is just used loosely to refer to people who might not really be related to you but trust your idea and will invest money into your business. Now, a lot of times in my engagements with businesses, you notice that a business has invested an owner, the owner, sorry, has invested money into the business, but has not taken time to write how much, accompanied by receipts and documentation, how much they have invested into the business. Please, you need to have details of every penny that you or whoever has invested into the business, plus whatever documentation that backs it. Traction. I already touched on traction earlier. What are the major milestones that you have achieved as a business? What are the key things that you have achieved? Have you rolled out a new software that is unique? Have you signed on some good businesses if you are in agriculture? Have you signed on some good contracts? Have your figures grown? Have you gotten some sort of certifications? Did you ever receive a grant from any donor body because you are doing so well? Please communicate and have your traction documented. Your growth potential. Can you demonstrate that your business will scale as a result of the investment? You should be able to communicate whether your business has potential to grow as a result of the investment that the investor is bringing on board. You should be able to communicate that if investor A gives you a $50,000 or a $10,000 into your business is going to grow from this level to that level, and it should be clearly detailed and demonstrated or documented. Your records. Do you have records of the operations that you have been doing so far? Are they accurate and up to date? Are there records of previous funding raised? Is the information of the shareholders and outstanding debt available? So a lot of times, startups might not be very good at keeping records. There are times funds might come in and they might be used and nothing is documented. And getting to the end of the year, auditors are coming on board. The business is now looking at ways to put together, hey, I don't have this receipt, I don't have that documentation. And things need to be forged to make up for the monies that have been used. Please, if you are fundraising, it is a no, no, no. I would appeal to you to start making sure right from here today, go back. Do you have every record there? Record of funds received, records of certifications, records of every single year. Shareholders, who are your shareholders? Are you owing anyone? If you are owing anyone, do you have details of that, the offer letter that was signed? Every single document should be in place. Now, your documentation. As I have said initially, have you prepared your business plan? Do you have your financial projections? Do you have your audited statements? So there are times a business wants to pitch to an investor, they share a pitch deck or document, and when you look at it, they have only indicated only their financial projections. They don't have any historical documents. By historical statements or financial statements, I mean your previous statements, the monies, what you have done in the previous years. So in 2020, what did you do? Did you do a 1 million Ghana cedis? Did you do a 10,000 Ghana cedis? Is it documented? Has it been audited? Do you have your statements? Do you have your management reports? You must have all things in place. By financial projections, I mean when the monies are given to you, when the investor gives you the money, can you, before the investor gives you the money, can you indicate what you would be doing, what will be the growth in terms of your financials year on after year, month after month? So if this time, 2021, you were doing 50,000 Ghana cedis, 10,000 Ghana cedis, you should be able to indicate that by 2022, when these funds come in, I will go to this level. Do you have all that in place? Have you studied your market? Have you indicated how your business is going to grow? I will go into details later. Your licenses and your certification. As a business, do you have all the relevant licenses that you need? If you are a business that requires an FDA, Food and Drugs Board license, do you have in place? Do you have it in place? If you require that you get a license from the Standards Authority, do you have that in place? Do you have every legal documentation in place where your business is located? If it is rented, you have the things in place. Everything should be filed and put there. Do you meet every single regulations? Please, as I'm talking, kindly be checking if any of these things are not in place. Please go and work on them. Thank you. Your legal structure. Have you registered your business with the Registrar General? Now, when you registered it, did you register it as a sole proprietor? In layman terms in Ghana, people refer to the sole proprietorship business as a one-man business. Have you also, or is it registered as a limited liability company? What I want to please plead with you is that most investors, are willing to look at limited liability companies as compared to all. They prefer limited liability companies over sole proprietorship businesses. The reason being that with a limited liability company, the risk is shared. With a sole proprietorship, if something happens to the owner, what happens is that it happens to the business as well. The business goes down with the owner. Are your funds channeled through a dedicated account? Do you have an account that is running? Does every business, every fund that comes from your business, does it go through this account? Are you registered? Your assets. So if the business has a car, if you have a van, if you have a shop, if you have an office building, if it belongs to you and it belongs to the business, are all these things registered in the business's name? Now, a checklist for your investment readiness. Your business plan. I think we have touched on that, so I will not go so much into detail. But your business plan is an executive summary. It should cover what you are offering as a business, your target markets, your value of the business, who your competitors are, the social environment, the team and the leadership, and then the management risk. Some of them will go into it later, so I'll just touch on it briefly. Your financial model, as I already said, the financial model one should capture your 3 to 5 year projections. So when the investor A or investor B gives you this money for the next 3 to 5 years, how do you see your business growing? And this financial model or the projection should not just be something you cook together. They should be backed with realistic assumptions. So if at this particular period you are producing maybe 100 maybe paper bags, for instance, 100 paper bags, because your revenue or because your capital is 10,000 Ghana cedis. If you are given extra 10,000 Ghana cedis and your capital goes to 20,000 Ghana cedis, what will you be producing next? It means that chances are, all things being equal, you will be producing 200 paper bags or more. Now, if you look at the economic situation or you look at the price of goods and all, this 200 paper bags that you'll be producing, if the funds come, what is the revenue that you are going to generate from that? So you must prepare your projections on realistic assumptions, please. Also, you must have your cash flows. The cash flows I'm referring to, the funds that are constantly coming in and going out of the business as a result of your operation. You must have a breakdown of your investment needs. What is the exact amount that you need? That amount that you need, if that amount is given to you, what exactly is it going to be used for? Please spell it out. So don't ask for $100,000 when the only thing that you know you are going to buy it for you're going to use the money for is worth $20,000. No. If you are going to rent a building, if you are going to buy a machine, if you whatever you are going to use it for, please detail it clearly. Also, your repayments. If you are taking a debt, as I said earlier, like a loan, how do you intend to pay the money back? All of these things must be present and you must detail it no matter the situation. So think about, if business is very good, how would these things affect my business? If business is very bad, like our sister Faustina mentioned when COVID hit her, COVID was an extreme case. But if business goes down, how would it affect your business? Audited financial statements. Please, for those of us that are seeking for funding, as much as possible, I will plead with us. Please get your financials audited. Please get your financials audited. If you want some level of funding, please get your financials audited. So you have to present a record of your historical financials that have been audited by a certified public accountant. So there are people that are certified to do audits. So not just any accountant, but a certified one. So if you take your performance from 2020, 2019, 2018, please, if it's not audited, try and get them audited. Thank you. So your business plan, please, your business plan should contain these things. This is not exhaustive, but it is some sort of checklist that you can work with for starters. Your executive summary. By executive summary, I mean that a brief or a summary of what your business is all about. A general idea that gives an introduction. So an introduction to what your business is about. Your business overview. So what's the whole role? What are you doing as a business from start to finish? Give us an overview of your business. The executive summary is shorter and just give a brief introduction, and the business overview is a little bit more detailed. Your mission, your vision, and then your SWOT analysis. So what is your mission as a business? What do you hope to achieve? What's your vision? What are you trying to attain? Then your SWOT analysis means that you should look out for your strengths, your weaknesses. You should look out for certain key things that that can face the business. Please give me just a minute. So you should have your, sorry about that, please. You should have your SWOT analysis in place. What are the strengths of your business? If something comes up, what makes your business outstanding from other businesses? What are the weaknesses? What are the things that you see are the weaknesses of your business? What are your opportunities as a business? Looking at the market you operate in. And then what are the threats? What are the things that could pose as a danger to your business? Also, you need to know your market environment and your competitor analysis. So, if you are in the food industry, maybe you produce cereals, who are your main competitors if you are in Ghana? Who are the people who you are competing with? So, I produce cereals for children and for families. As a producer of cereals, who are my competitors? Am I competing with Nestle because they produce Cerelac? So if you take, for instance, Promasidor, the producers of Cowbell, one of their competitors is Nestle because people might go for Nido or Ideal over Cowbell. So you must know who your competitor is. And then what advantage do you have over your competitor? Sorry, please, there is a plane passing. Let me just let it pass. Thank you. What advantage do you have over your competitor? Your marketing strategy. You must have it clearly defined. What is your marketing strategy? Everything should be defined. Your management and organizational structure, your impact, and then what are your risks? And how do you intend to overcome these risks? That is, mitigate them. And then your financial information. Now we are going to investor pitch deck. So for the registration that we did, we requested for pitch decks. Some pitch decks that came really looked good, but others have a lot of work to be done. So I'll plead with you to kindly take note of these points that we are sharing so that if you need to work or do better on the pitch deck, kindly take the opportunity and please improve on your pitch deck. So your pitch deck is basically a presentation, an informative presentation, usually in the form of PowerPoint, that you present to investors to give them an overview of your business. So it helps to communicate clearly what your business is about, what exactly you are doing, how you intend to raise money. The pitch deck is not enough to say that because you have a pitch deck and you see an investor, it doesn't mean that automatically you are going to get the funds, but it is a good guide to help you to communicate the necessary things. So you don't end up talking unnecessarily, but you communicate the relevant things. So for your pitch deck, basically you need your hook, your problem, your solution, your market potential, your business model, your competition, your team, your traction, your financials, investments, and funding. For some of these, I've already touched on them, so I'll not go into detail. So the hook basically is talking about the introduction. What is that thing that's setting your business apart? So I am a business that is into maybe I produce, for lack of a better example, I produce some sort of meat that is so unique. I can come up and start my hook by explaining how relevant my meat is on the market and how different it is. So your hook should be that thing that will catch the attention of the investor and make them want to listen to the rest of your pitch. What is it? Is it an introduction? You can present it in an image, a chart, or maybe statistics. Is it the growth that your business has experienced over the years? In less than a year, your business started at 10,000 Ghana cedis, and right now you are doing about $100,000. What is it that will catch your investors' attention? Your problem. So the problem or the need, you need to identify what problem you are solving. What problem you are solving. So you are a business. Let's take, for instance, just for an example, let's take Coco King. So maybe the problem was that there are lots of people within the middle class in Ghana who would love to be able to still eat their cocoa and coaster in the morning or would love some good breakfast. But the challenge is, one, the times that they leave for work, they can't afford to go and join a queue at Auntie Zinabu's store to buy their porridge. Two, probably they could even go and join the queue, but they are not too crazy about how Auntie Zinabu has packaged her porridge and everything. So The problem is there is a need for breakfast, but the solutions of providing the kind of these breakfast for the right people is not available. So Coco King comes in and says, okay, if that is the case, I am producing same breakfast of very good nutritious value, produced in a hygienic way. And I'm not saying the others are not produced in a hygienic way, please. I'm just giving an example. And well packaged to suit your taste. And they are vantage points where offices are. He saw a problem, and that is the problem that he saw. The solution. So, as I said earlier, you must state what is the solution you are given. So Coco King saw a problem. He came in and says, I am coming to put a stand next to your office. So you don't need to walk for miles. I'm coming to put a stand by 37 by airport, right by the roadside. You don't need to join a queue. The stand has about two ladies there. You get there and they give you your food. It's packaged well. You still get to eat your Tom Brown, your cocoa, your wheat, your kose, everything well packaged. So you must indicate what makes your solution different. You must indicate what is the recent trend in the market or in the industry that you are coming in that makes your solution outstanding. So after Coco King came on board, right now we have Wache that is packaged and you can just buy it online and people are enjoying all these things. So Coco King came on board and someone saw that there is a trend, there is a need, and they are providing solution to it. What advantage does your product have that others don't have that can solve the problem? What makes your product different? So Auntie Muni was selling wache in her kana where people will go and join the queue. Now you are saying that your wache is in a jar. It is online. All you need to go is then just at the click of a button. You don't need to drive all the way to Labonin. Or you have provided an app to connect Auntie Muni to people who could not go to her end. What makes yours different? How will your solution be implemented? If you have the product to show, it is very good. Please show it to the investor. If it is a service and you can't show it to, you should be able to explain and demonstrate it in detail. What is your market potential? Please, on your pitch deck, you need to indicate who the various market segments are. So let's go back to the cereal story. So I am into the cereal business. I produce cereals. Now my market segmentation could include children, could include lactating mothers, it could include parents in general, and maybe households in general. Segment your customers. Who are they? Elaborate on your market's potential for solutions. So if you look at the general markets in Ghana, what is the need for the product you are providing? Everybody eats breakfast. Well, maybe not everybody. Now, what is the need? What is the market potential? If it is almost everybody eating breakfast, it means there is a huge market for what you are doing. Now, point out the potential market sizing for each of your customer segments. So, if your customer segments are children, what is the potential market size that will buy the produce that you are actually producing? You must also estimate the value of your market in defined market. So if it is, yeah, if your focus has been Ghana all this while, what is the value of that market in Ghana? If it is outside Ghana, what is the value of the market over there? And what portion of that market are you handling? Are you handling a 10% of that market, a 1%? Please, you need to indicate it. Your business model, we've already touched on that already. So your sales distribution channels, how are you selling your products? Coco King has stands at various points where they are reaching out to people. They have offices, they also go around to offices to deliver. Your pricing, how are you pricing your product? And what's the idea behind your pricing? Your revenue models, how are you going to make revenue for this business? Your customer segmentations, I've already mentioned that. Your market size and the value that you are presenting. And then who are the key partners or the key partnerships that you need to make or you already have that make your business model a success? Please, you need to indicate all these things in your pitch deck. Your competition, I think I've touched on that to a large extent. So you must provide a complete overview of the competitive landscape in Ghana or where you operate. So who are your competitors? If you can share a chart or table to show what makes you better than your competitor. The whole point is, please don't go and talk about how your competitor is not good. I beg you. Just highlight on your strength, what makes you outstanding. But don't go and hit on this person that you see, even they don't use good maize for their produce. It has weevils. No, please. Touch on the key areas that makes yours outstanding. I beg you. If you have research to back your competitor analysis, please do that. Thank you. So we've already touched on your team. Who is on your team? What is their relevance? What is their experience? Your management, their governance. Who are the people that are managing your business? The key people that run the show. What is their experience? What are they doing? And please, if you feel that there is a challenge somewhere, please kindly you look at your team and you see that there is a challenge. We need this. We don't have this particular experience. Please feel free to touch on it. It helps the investor to know that you know your business well and you know where your gaps are. The traction, I think I also touched on it. What has your business achieved so far? What is the current status of your product? You started, maybe initially when you started, they were in glass bottles. Now you pack them in paper packs. That makes it easy to handle. What makes your business outstanding? What has changed since you started? Also, if you look at the future of your business from now to when you get the funding and after you have gotten the funding, how is that funding going to change the state of your business? You need to indicate that. If you have gotten any specific certification since you started, please touch on that. And also mention what you have achieved in the past years if they are worth mentioning. Your financial projections, we touched on that as well. So you share your projections for the next 3 to 5 years. You share your financial performance, your revenue, what have profits have come in, what have you expended in terms of expenses. So you indicate your historical performance if it is available. And please, as I said earlier on, these projections should be based on realistic assumptions. Now, your investment or funding. So please, over here, it's very necessary. You need to indicate what kind of funding do you need. You need to state, are you looking at a debt? Are you looking at equity? You need to state what if these funds are given to you, as we mentioned, how is this going to affect the business? You need to indicate the milestones, the specific things that you need, the duration, your repayment plan if it is a debt. So please, you need to indicate all these in your pitch deck. And then, so the whole idea is that please, your pitch deck should not be lengthy, should not be too huge, but they should have these key things. It's not exhaustive, but they should have these key things in place. Now, for those of us some of us who get the opportunity when shortlisted to pitch to investors, please, as we are talking right now, I am not just reading the slides, I am explaining and giving you examples. So please don't just go and read your slides. There is a time limit to your presentation too. So please work within time. Touch on the key areas. Please pay attention to how you are communicating. Watch out for your, not just what you are saying, but your body language and all. Please make sure that where you are seated, because it's going to be virtual, is well lit. The background is nice. Your everything, your presentation, don't assume because it's a virtual presentation. Please present yourself well and take your time and communicate effectively, but communicate within the allotted time. So I just want to touch on something that is very important. Impact Investing Ghana, we, as I mentioned already, we organize quarterly deal rooms where we connect investors to viable businesses that meet their criteria. And we also have what we call the Deal Source Africa platform. It's a curated platform where businesses sign up and we review what's the business, and if they are a match to an investor, the businesses get to actually communicate with the investor, or we share the details of the business with the investor. And if the investor is interested, the investor comes back. So, as part of our deal rooms, last year we organized a deal room as part of the SDG fair, and we were able to close a deal. A business that was in the deal room closed the deal. I pray that for those of us here too today, we'll be able to close a deal for those who get to talk to the investors. And this is the feedback that we got from the investor. He said the deal room organized by IIGH was worth the time and efforts. We identified and closed the deal. I believe Deal Source Africa is a great platform for impact funds to source deals. So I'm just going to take us through a brief background on Deal Source Africa. For every business that will be shortlisted, and for some selected ones, please, we will reach out to you. It is a must that you sign up on Deal Source Africa to move to the next level of investor and coaching session. Please, I would plead, Mary, if you could please put the link for Deal Source Africa in the chat for me, please. I'll be very grateful. So please, my colleague would share the link. Please try and sign up to the platform. And if you have any challenges, kindly reach out to me via email. I'll also reach out to you via phone call to talk further. So Deal Source Africa, as I already touched on, is a digital platform where businesses are connected to investors. And some of the investors we have are angel investors, development financial institutions, and then limited partners. Now, it was developed by Impact Investing Ghana in partnership with Impact Investors Foundation. So at the very beginning of our presentation, I mentioned that we are part of a larger body called the Global Steering Group. And Impact Investors Foundation is the national advisory board for Nigeria in the Global Steering Group. So our platform does not give you access to just opportunities in Ghana, but you also get to have access to opportunities in Nigeria. And we are looking at spreading our tentacles with the years to come. What are the benefits if you sign on as a business? So when you sign on as a business, what happens before a business gets to sign on to Deal Source Africa? We will do due diligence. So it's not just any business that can sign on. So we will find out if your business is registered. Is it truly an existing business? We try to understand your business and try to know if you will probably even be a match for any of our investors on the platform. The whole point is we need to be sure that if we say it is enterprise or company ABC, there is truly a company ABC existing, which has been duly registered, and it is actually not fraudulent or anything. It is curated, which means that IGH has a dedicated staff that is working to connect businesses to investors. So you don't just sign up and then you are done. No. So for almost all the businesses that have signed up for some time now, unless you just sign up about a day or two, we reach out to you. You probably have received a phone call. We reach out to you to understand what your business is about. So we have a dedicated staff that is working, and as part of this curatedness, we have the deal rooms, like the one some of us might be joining if they are shortlisted. So constantly we are connecting businesses. We have investments readiness. Please, when you look at the link that has been shared, when you click there on it and it takes you to the home page of Deal Source Africa, you will notice a portion called e-learning. And then there is a place that says start learning. It will take you to videos that have been done. They were actually prepared by InnoHub. And InnoHub is one of the best, the best, oh gosh, sorry, forgive me, I just went blank. One of the best market builders in Ghana. There are several as I am just as InnoHub. They put together videos on how to become investment ready. I would appeal to you, if you get the opportunity, please, 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 again, make time to watch these videos. And also for every business that signs on and gets the opportunity to pitch, just as we are doing right now, we would engage you where necessary to assist you in some sort of investment readiness. If it's beyond our capacity as an institution, we will refer you to bodies such as InnoHub to be trained or to prep you and get you ready for your pitching at a cost, please. You would have to pay for that one, and that one is an agreement between you and the institution. The features, as I already mentioned, we match investors to businesses that meet their criteria. And if it's an investor that is signing on to the platform, they get to see the details that have happened on the platform. If you're a business too and you sign on and you are fully onboarded, you get to see other businesses that might be in the field or other businesses that have also registered. I think it's even a good place to collaborate with other businesses. Also, as a business, as I already touched on, you get to have access to the investor readiness platform, the investor readiness series on the platform. So please take advantage of that and learn at your own pace, please. Also, as a business, you can receive notifications whenever an investor reaches out to you. So the beautiful thing about the platform is that when you sign on as a business, you might not be able to reach out to the investor directly. At the moment an investor expresses interest in you and reaches out to you on the platform, you will get an alert and you'll be able to reach out to the investor and take it from there. So, as we already touched on, I've mentioned it several times. We have our quarterly deal rooms that we organize. This one, we are organizing it in partnership with the Ministry of Finance, the Social Enterprises Ghana, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center as part of the 2022 SDGs Investment Fair. We would reach out to you again when we have other ones coming up. So, thank you very much. Please, I will take some questions if there are any. Okay, please, Mr. Richard Esiedu. I think you can unmute and please ask your question.
Hello, good morning. My name is Richard from Farmer Ghana Limited. So I wanted to be sure of the document that we send in times when we are applying for investment opportunities. So we kind of know about the executive business plan, the business model canvas, we know of the pitch decks. So at the end of the day, and the content in the pitch decks and that of the business executive plan looks a bit like the same, although they are not really this. They are similar. So I want to know which of these do we send in times when we are applying for such financial aids? Is it that we are to select one or two of them, or we are to provide everything in relation to the business BMC, the pitch decks, the canvas, and then the investor readiness checks?
Okay. Thank you very much, Richard. So the first thing that you need to share when you are engaging with the investor at the very first time should be your pitch decks, and your pitch deck should have incorporated in it some sort of financial projections and some information on your historical financials. Then from there, after the investor has looked at these, they have the discussion with you and all. From there, the investor can reach out to you again and would ask for specific details. But for the very initial contact, it would not be ideal to send so many documents because they are now trying to understand your business and see how you are a good match for them. And then if you are a good match, they will take it from there. So please make sure that your pitch deck is solid and then you have that in place. Thank you, Richard.
Okay, thank you.
And please, there is also a question in the chat. It says, can you go through the features of the IIGH platform again? So please, I'll just take some few minutes to touch on that again. Just give me a minute. So I just mentioned that our platform is actually, so the features, the basic things are that one, every business that is signed on to Deal Source Africa undergoes a due diligence process to make sure that the businesses are a good match for our investors and the businesses are existing businesses. And to make sure that the businesses are a good fit. Two, it is curated. So it's not just a platform that is there, you sign on, you reach out whenever you want to know. But what happens is that there is a back end support where we are periodically reaching out to investors with the details of businesses that are a good match for them. Also, we organize deal rooms as part of the services that we offer on Deal Source Africa. So this deal room, in partnership with the Ministry of Finance, is being run on Deal Source Africa. Also, we have what we call the Investment Readiness series there. And then when there is the opportunity, we also come in and offer some sort of investment readiness for the business when the opportunity comes and it's probable. If not, if the business needs help, maybe as you engage the investor, you spoke to the investor somewhere along the line, there are certain things that are required, and there is the possibility or the need, we might refer you to someone who has the capacity to give you detailed help. Also, if you are if there is an investor who signs on or whoever signs on as a business, you will get periodic notifications if other people sign on. So the beauty about notifications is that you trigger a notification so that you want to get notifications whenever a business signs on. You can decide that you don't want to, you only want to get notifications when a particular investors have signed on. And the beautiful thing is that when an investor reaches out to you on the platform as a business, you can also reach out to them. You also get to see some high level details of some of the transactions that have been done on the platform. Also, as a business, when you sign on, you get to see also other businesses that have signed on. So it even helps you if there is a chance of probably doing some sort of collaboration, at least it gets helps you to know who are the other people that might have also probably signed on to the platform. I hope I have answered your question. Okay, I think there's another. Okay, please, do we have any more questions? If you want to ask a question, please kindly raise your hand and unmute. Okay, I think there is a question in the chat box. Please, I would plead with you if you could put the questions in the Q&A. There are quite a lot of things that are happening. So, okay, please, I want to open the link to the Deal Source Africa platform and then just give you a view of how it looks like. Please, if you have posted your question in the chat box, please, I'll plead with you to put it in the Q&A session because there are lots of chats popping up and I might be able to, I might miss out on your question, please. So kindly put it into the chat box. Give me a minute to share the Deal Source Africa platform. Okay, so I'm going to start by showing you how the the homepage looks like, and if I'm able to get the opportunity, I will
Hello, and welcome to this series on how to attract funding from impact investors for your business. Whereas you have impact investors globally complaining that they cannot find the right ventures to put their funding
Meantime, whilst I look at sharing the live page, let me look and see if there are any questions here. Okay, James Adu says, excellent service. Thank you, James. Stephen, okay, so someone is asking who can see your messages. Oh, sorry. Okay. How do I know the ticket size of the investor before pitching? Thank you very much, Eric, for that question. Eric wants to know how he can know. Okay, I think, Eric, you have raised your hands. Please unmute and please ask your question. Sorry. Eric, please unmute and then please ask your question.
Hello, Justina. Maybe we can have Stephen speak.
Okay, Stephen,
you
please
can go ahead and.
Yeah, Stephen, please, we can't hear you. If you could please speak up if you are talking.
Yeah. My question is that concerning the limited liability and then enterprise. I'm having a limited liability by shares, and I have an enterprise too. And as I speak with you, I'm working on the enterprise by shares. So in this case, if investor wanted to invest into the business, should I let the person come into the enterprise or limited liability, because they are two separate entities? Besides that, I made a brief presentation on the entrepreneurs. There are lots of challenges you're going through. Before you set up, you pay so much to the government, and at the end of the day, you might not get what you're supposed to get. You'll be struggling by raising your own money, which is also affecting us. So in this case, how are we going to survive? Because some of us, we are eager to set up so much business in Ghana and help people to get something to do. Two, I also wanted to suggest with this presentation, if you can send us the first copy into our various platforms, that would also be nice. And then about the page 2, I had wanted to join, but the phone I was using by then, the device was not compatible to send my presentation. So is there any way I can still join the page? Because I'm eager to join them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. I hope I got you. So your first question was in relation to the fact that you have an enterprise and then you also have a limited liability company. You are running the limited liability company. So if an investor wants to invest in your business, which one do you take them to? So my first point will be that one, I would advise you, so long as you are looking for investment. So there are different kind of investments, angel investors, and each investor has a level they are willing to invest in. But so long as you are looking for some sort of investment, I'm saying that from the feedback I've gotten from the investors so far on all levels, if it is not just a bank loan you are looking for or just friends and family to invest, so long as you are looking for investments, if ever you would want some kind of investment on the enterprise, then please, I would advise you to go to the Registrar General and then change it into a sole proprietorship. I'm not saying it's impossible for a sole proprietor, into a limited liability, sorry. I'm not saying it's impossible for a limited liability to get funding, but then the hindrances are quite a lot. So it's always best if you have it as a limited liability. Now, also another thing that will come in, which business needs the funds? Which business needs the funds? So probably someone also might be here, you might have 2 or 3 businesses, but which business exactly needs the funding that you want? So if it is business A over business B, it means that if it is business B that needs the funding, it is business B that you must project, not business A. But I think with this knowledge that we are getting today and the one that has been hosted on the platform, which has been well done by Inuhab, I will encourage you to try and put every business of yours in shape so that whenever there is a need for funding, you are not now going to struggle to raise the funds or to put the necessary things together. Also, I think you asked about if you can still be part of the deal room. The challenge is that the businesses that will be pitching to the investors have been shortlisted. So please, you can still send your pitch deck if you have it available to me. What we will do is, as long as we have every business that registered for this particular deal room, we have your details, and whenever there is an opportunity, we'll reach out to you again. But please send your pitch deck to me. But the businesses that will be pitching so far have already been shortlisted, so it will be difficult. You will not be able to join and then pitch. In relation to whether we can share the templates, please, I would get back to you. Thank you. I think I also see a question in the chat. It says, how do I know the size of the investor before pitching? Eric, please. Some investors, some of the funds actually have these details hosted on their websites. Some have it there. So we always encourage businesses, when you are starting, you can start by doing an online research to give you an idea of the funds available. Some don't. So in that case too, I say that funds are quite very friendly. You can just maybe do a quick drop off at the office, even if you don't get some how should I put it, an investor analyst to talk to. You can get some of these details from their reception. They will have their brochures and all, and they are really happy to give you these informations to help you prep yourself to be able to know what they are giving out, because they also have the funds to give. So these informations are quite easy to get. Find out the location, go to the place and see if you can reach out to them, get some brochure on it, and then have these details. Thank you. Mr. Atokwamena, please, you can unmute and ask your questions there.
All right, sure. Thanks, Justin, for giving me this opportunity. My question is geared towards pure agri-tech tech startups.
Yes, sir.
You know, my startup, for instance, we have enormous traction in terms of users, in terms of B2B partnerships, but we are still pre-launch. Let me put it that way, because we are not making revenue yet. We are about to, because we just finished with our public beta of our product. We have demo, we have testimonial of how it went, everything. We even have some contracts from our B2B play. I'm asking, with everything you shared in terms of the deal room, what you need to have, especially with the finance side, having an audited statement and all that, we don't have that. Do we still qualify to, pitch to some of these impact investors? Or we are just too early for this deal room and we should wait for something different?
Okay. Thank you very much. Um, Thank you for your question. So, what I would say is that one, as I mentioned, there are level. That's why we host these things on Deal Source Africa. So, one, there have been businesses that in previous deal rooms did not close a deal, but after the deal rooms, we still try to see how we connect businesses to investors. So, the connection to investors does not end here. It goes beyond this stage. It actually it goes beyond the stage. It actually continues even after the deal rooms. Two, for an impact investor, you must have some sort of financials. You must have some sort of historical performance. So it means that at this level, it might be too early for you to pitch to an impact investor. But aside impact investors, there are angel investors and all. Some might be interested. Not all angel investors are interested in startups, that I need to say, but some might be interested. So please, you can send me an email. If you did register, you'll notice that my email address was at the back. Share your pitch deck with me. And also, please try and sign up on Deal Source Africa, and then we can see what we can. But for now, with the deal room, because you don't have any financials at all, and I'm not necessarily referring to audited financial, because you don't have any business done at all, please, you can't pitch in the deal room. Thank you. Please let me touch on a few questions in the Q&A session. So someone is asking, what is the service charge after a successful deal? So Kwesi, thank you for that question. At the moment, businesses are not being charged to sign up, but very soon, businesses will be charged the success fee after the deal has been closed. So the percentage has not yet been concluded. So I can't give you the charge amount or the percentage. But when these things are ready, please, we will reach out to you. So please, I would appeal to you to still sign up now that it's free, to get the opportunity to benefit if you are well positioned to benefit. Okay, Dom, you're having a problem. Please, I beg you, kindly check your internet. If it's persistent, usually I notice that if the internet is not stable, you might have challenges signing in. Please, if it persists, please reach out to me and then let me see what I can do. Mr. Eric Lamte, please, is there any way the organization can help if a business has been registered as a sole proprietor? Since you said investors are more. Eric, please, at the moment, we are not positioned to help you register with the Registrar General, but I would encourage you when you go to the Registrar General's office and you let them know. I think you can even do it online these days. You can initiate the process online. That you want to change your sole proprietorship to limited liability. They will be more than happy to assist you do that, please. Just a minute, please. Bransford, please, I'll get to you shortly. Just let me answer a few questions in here. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so please, Samuel says, please, I joined a few minutes ago. Can you please give a summary of what's will be, and would we be added to WhatsApp groups? Samuel, so this is an investments readiness session. In preparation for the 2022 SDG Investment Fair Deal Room. So this is the first level. Businesses that are shortlisted from here will get the opportunity to will get the opportunity to have a coaching session before they pitch to investors. For the WhatsApp group, please, we would have to get back to you on that. And please, we will share the recording with you when the program is done, so you can go back and listen to the playback, please. Nature says, is there any instances where sole proprietorship or partners raised funds, either debt or safe through your platform or any other platforms? Nature, please, so far, we have not helped a sole proprietorship raise funds yet. I can't tell if they have raised funds from other platforms. And I'm not saying it's impossible to raise the funds. I'm just giving them some of the feedback that we have received so far. Okay. Oh, Mr. Dom Bimpe says, do you have special dispensation for people with disabilities? Dom, at the moment, I can't speak to that. And I don't know if we have anything like that. Basically, for investors, they are looking at your business, the turnaround and all. So please, I will let you know if anything like that comes up. But at the moment, please, we don't have anything like that. Calvin wants to know, and I think aside Calvin, someone also wants to know how many startups have gotten investments so far. So in our deal room last year, there was an investment closed. We did one in June, and I can confidently say that the investors have shown interest in some of the businesses and have started discussions. Some look quite positive. They haven't been closed yet because it takes quite a while for deals to be closed. But we have one that has been fully closed, and at least about 2 or 3 that are in the discussion, and we are hoping that those deals will also be closed. So James, please refresh your browser and try again for me. Okay. Branford, please, I think, please unmute yourself and please ask your question. Bransford, please.
Yeah, please, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Thanks for the presentation. So I'm Bransford Amu from Just Organic Farms. With respect to the documentation, you made mention that sole proprietors, you're not so sure whether investor will be interested. But with my case, I'm in the process of turning mine into limited liability company. We are still in the project, we are not done yet. So because of the way you spoke, there should be truth in everything that we do. We don't want to say we are done with it. We are still in the process. So are we still qualified to pitch?
Okay, so thank you for your question, Bransford. Because it's in line with someone has asked another question, does it mean sole proprietors are irrelevant on the platform? No, please, it doesn't. Bransford, I'll answer your question since they are so linked. It doesn't mean you are irrelevant, no. But we are looking at the overall session, the overall gain that you stand to gain if you are a limited liability, not even just in the area of investment. There are so many opportunities that come if you are registered as a limited liability. So if you're a sole proprietor, yes, you can start, but we would encourage you to update your registration. And to Bransford's question, Bransford, please, if you have started, usually when we start with the registration, there is some sort of slip that is given to us to indicate that we have started with the changeover. Please have it at hand. So if you do get an opportunity to pitch to an investor, whether it is this deal room or any other deal room, you can be able to present it to them to let them know that you have started the process. And please follow up also to speed up the process if possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think I have, I don't know if there are any more questions, please. If there are, please raise your hands and then please ask. But I think the one in the Q&A, I have exhausted almost every one of them, especially because some of them were very similar. So please, if you have any questions, kindly. Okay, Echo, please ask your question.
Hi, good morning.
Sorry, I missed your call, please. I was
don't worry.
Presenting, so I could not.
Yeah. So once again, thanks so much and congratulations on a very good presentation. I think we've all learned a lot from it. We are trying to sign on to the Deal Source Africa, but it's not working. We're trying to sign up.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's a problem. The last question they asked, what best describes you, but the drop down doesn't work. So it doesn't allow you to continue. So if you can please address that.
Please, I would follow up with our technical team on that. So
Okay.
please, I will plead with you. If you're having any challenges, please don't stop. We will follow up, and please try again. I beg you, give
All
it
right.
some time and then please try again.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All the best. Bye.
Thank you, Eko. Um, Samuel is asking, so please, as to when should we update our registration? Samuel, I don't think there are time limits to when you can do your registration. You can update it. If you are ready as an institution to update your registration, please feel free to do that. For those of us who are yet to formalize our institution by registration, please, if you can start with a limited liability from the very beginning to please go ahead and do that. Thank you. Mr. Kwesiofori, please, you can unmute and ask your question.
Thank you very much, Justin. And good morning to everyone.
Please kindly speak up. We can't hear you. Your voice is faint.
Please, is it better?
Yes, it's better.
Oh, okay. I'm saying that thank you very much for the presentation, and it's actually great to be here. I just want to add some few points or just bring some of the questions that are related. I have worked within the SME eco space. The organization is SME Eco Africa. And basically, most
Your voice
investors.
has dropped again. Sorry.
Hello, is it better now?
Well,
Hello.
we'll manage with this.
Oh, okay, sure. So what happened is that you said earlier in your submissions, most investors are not too certain with sole proprietorship because with sole proprietorship, the business rests on just the owner. So risks are quite high. But when it comes to the limited liability, the business can sue and can be sued. So the risk is shared. So most prefer that at least you should have a limited liability restriction. And by their status, at least one, two persons or three persons all have to put their funds together to get the limited liabilities restriction done. Two, you can also increase your cap in terms of the shares you put in there. You can agree to do debenture shares for an incoming shareholder and all this. So the opportunities far outweighs you being a sole proprietor. Yes, I understand sometimes because of tax purposes and the regulatory issues we have in our country, staying sole proprietor gives you some comfort. But if you really want to grow the business, and then if you are ready to or interested to attract even your next door neighbor or your brother into the business, then the best option is to look at is going to sole proprietorship, limited liability, and get the systems and structures in place in the right order. Let me just ask my question then. That is just by so you did mention on financial or your record as an entrepreneur or a startup. Once you are keeping records of your expenditure, it's equally also a good source of getting your records put together. I may not have necessarily make incomes, but I have some records on the expenditure on what has gone into the system or what has gone into my products. The registration processes, the financial auditing, the returns, and all these things. You pay for those services. And that might also be a good point for an investor to consider that yes, on the face value, you've already even started keeping your records, which most entrepreneurs or businesses or SMEs find difficult doing in our part of the world. So I don't know what your best answer on this would be. Can the investor consider the fact that you have your records? Yes, you're not making profit, but the expenditures that go along the lines are recorded.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that question, Mr. Kwesiofori. So thank you for the further explanation on why businesses should actually register as limited liabilities. That was a good one. In relation to your question, so at the very beginning, I touched on the fact that we have different kind of investors, different kinds of investors. There is the angel investor, there is the impact fund, and all. So this particular presentation, because the deal room is for impact funds, for now, it was tailored to impact funds. There are some few angel investors, and I'm being very careful in my choice of words. Few angel investors that might really love the idea and might see the future of the idea and would love to invest in the business, whether you are making profit or not. But the reality is that, which you would agree with me, being the SME space, the reality is that most investors would love to see that there is some kind of profits coming in. So I keep giving the caveats that I'm not saying it's a no, it's impossible. It happens, but it's quite rare. But it's a good start for any business to start having these records at the very beginning, so that when, even if you are ready for investment, when an angel investor or whoever comes in, whether you're making profits or not, you would have these things available and ready to share with the potential investor. Thank you. Please, Mr. Eric Mensah, please, you can unmute and ask your question. Mr. Eric Mensah, please, you can unmute and ask your question. Okay, the Kwame Phillips, please talk. I think Mr. Eric Mensah has spoken already and he didn't put down his hand.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Phillips.
Yes, please. Good morning.
Good morning. Please, can you speak up a little for us?
Okay. Is it better now?
Yes, sir. It is better. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I want to find out if I can get a recorded session of this meeting.
Yes, sir. Please, we'll share the recording with everyone that signed up to be on the program. We'll share it with you. And I touched that we also have detailed training beyond what we have done today that have been put together by InnoHub, and it's on the Deal Source Africa platform under the e-learning session. So please, I would encourage you to also go there and watch the videos as well. But we will share this recording as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bransford, please, do you want to ask another question, or you didn't put down your hand? If you want to ask another question, please unmute and ask the question. Bransford, please, before you come, please, we have put a link in the chat box for feedback forms for this particular webinar. We would plead with you to please fill it out for us. We want to know and improve on our next webinar. Thank you. Bransford, please, you can talk.
Oh, sorry, I think it's a mistake. I didn't raise up my hand. Sorry for that.
That's okay, sir. Thank you. Eric, please, do you want to ask a question, or you did not put down your hand?
Sorry, please.
Hello, Eric. Okay. So please, I don't know if I have exhausted every question so far. On the Deal Source Africa, please, I will get back to you. Okay, so someone is asking for the link to Deal Source Africa. Please, I will paste it in the Q&A and the chat box so that you can access it. And please, I pasted my email address also in the chat box. Someone was asking for a contact. Please, you can send me an email and I will be glad to assist. So please, I've shared. Okay, Eric, please, can you type then? I think you are probably having a problem. Yes, please type your question. We have just about some 11 minutes to round up. So please, if you have any question and you can ask, kindly type it and then we'll handle it. We'll see how best we can answer the question. Please, I'm going to share the email address again. Okay, Eric, please, I don't know if you have typed your question because I can't see it in the chat or the Q&A. I just shared the link to my email address, sorry. Please, and link to the website again. Okay. Eric, you're asking how do you know the ticket size of the investor? Okay, I touched on it. I think probably didn't hear me then. Please, one, I was explaining that some funds or some investors might share it on their websites, which is rare, but you might find one or two funds doing that. Also, I encourage you to do a research on the funds that might be in Ghana, those whose offices you can access. There are some you can just walk to their office, they might share a brochure with you. There are some that you can also pick their number online, call them and make inquiries, and they are more than willing to share it with you because they're also happy to invest in businesses and interact with you. So please feel free to reach out for them. Out to them, sorry. And Ato is asking for the shortlisted companies. When are we to expect a confirmatory email? So please, if you have been shortlisted, you will receive an email. So please check your email right after this meeting. Probably you might have even received it. So if you didn't receive it, chances are you didn't move to the coaching, the one-on-one coaching session. But we have all your details and we would reach out to everyone again if we have another deal room coming up so that those who are prepped then or might fall in line with the investments criteria of any of the investors can sign up for that one. And please kindly take a minute to fill the feedback form. The link has been shared in the chat. Okay. So please, on that note.
Hello, Justina. Can I come in?
Yes. Yes, please come in.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, once again for attending this investment ready session. I would just like to add to Justina that selected businesses that has been shortlisted should have received an email inviting you for a one-on-one coaching session kickoff meeting. So the kickoff meeting is to help you connect you with your coach, and your coach will take it from there. The kickoff meeting is today at 12 p.m. So you should receive an email and also a calendar invite. If you you haven't received that email yet, it means that you haven't been shortlisted for the next session. But we hope that this session was very useful, and we'd love to hear your feedback also on the session. So there's a feedback form link in the chat. Grateful if you can share your feedback with us just to improve for future sessions and events. Thank you. Back to you, Justina.
Thank you so much, Mary. Please, as Mary said, we are very grateful that you were able to make it to the webinar. Let me just show my face for the last time. Thank you so much. We are grateful for your time. We are grateful for making the time to be with us. Please, if you have any questions that were untouched, you can send an email. I shared the chat. I'll follow up on the Deal Source platform again and then get back to you. But I'll encourage you to please check again after some, maybe some few minutes or an hour. And once again, please remember to fill in the feedback form. Thank you, and we are very grateful and happy to have you. Thank you. All the best to the businesses that are moving to the next session. Thank you.